Cool. Okay, I'm gonna hit go live. Okay, I think we are live. Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out today. I hope you are doing well. And I am hanging out with a special guest today. I have Kolsker on. Kolsker is part of the TNA Army. And Kolsker, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself? We spoke before on Discord. We've spoke in a live for the TNA members that never went to YouTube, I don't think. But just introduce yourself. Tell me about a little bit about your walk in Splinterlands and broadly blockchain gaming, and maybe anything else you think the people might want to know about you.
Um, cool. Yeah. I guess I've been a member of the TNA Legion for a little more than a year now, and I've been 2+ years in Splinterlands. I kind of, came from like the whole first pump, that Dogecoin, some of those coins that kind of drew me into crypto. I was a World of Warcraft player for 15 years. I played, you know, a monthly subscription for 15 years.
Mm,
So a gamer. Um, and then I kind of, as the Dogecoin pump was happening, I was questioning why I was spending so much time gaming for nothing.
yeah.
And during that time that I, got some crypto together, I started searching stuff out. And I played Axie. I looked at I played all the Gala games. I did Townstar and competed in Townstar with my NFTs and that.
Cool.
Um, and and then really just settled on Splinterlands because of Matt,
Yeah.
and it's always been Matt, that like the way that he built the game and his vision of the game, that's kind of always underlying. That's always been the thing to me.
Yeah.
Um, the creativity of building a game that has you know, the financial ecosystem underneath it, that we can all kind of play back and forth, and all that arbitrage opportunity, all that stuff is just layers on the game. That's it's just fun.
Hmm. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know when I first, I have really early memories of Splinterlands going far back where I remember, getting to know Matt and even Aggroed through Steam and Steam at blogging. And I have some recollection of kind of hearing them because it was a small community. It still is a small community. And you would see them post something about Steam monsters back then, and I then some, but it wasn't just that. They were into other things too, and they were just part of the community. And I remember I'd read their blogs, and so I felt like it was if they were from your neighborhood, like you kind of knew. The person that's three doors down. You might not know their name. Maybe they don't know your name, but there's some familiarity. And then the project came, and I learned more about it, and there was a window where I didn't know about the game, but once I finally, I think you may be closer, you might know, but as I kind of really saw what it was, and really understood how limited at least the alphas and betas were, in my opinion, even modern cards still fall into the same conversation of, their deflationary nature due to like how often they get burnt to consolidate and power up. I just was like, man, this is interesting. And Matt was pivotal in it for me too, as you mentioned. You touched Axie, you touched Gala. Gala is Gala going for a little run right now? I kind of don't watch this stuff very
Yeah,
closely.
it's on a run. It started a poker that actually has an app, so that like if you purchase an NFT, you get a certain amount of daily tokens to play in the poker.
Hmm.
Every week they have a tournament, and those tournament winners get Gala.
Mm.
So it's very few people that are getting Gala, like none of the free players, because they have such a tiny amount of tokens to play
Hmm.
with, unless they like go all in three
Sure.
times and double up and then build up, but every day it restarts. So if some of the NFTs are 250,000 tokens, some of them are a million tokens
Mm,
per day.
mm,
So those guys that have a million tokens per day can earn more points and get into the tournament every week and
mm.
then earn gala. So like it's still set up just like any other thing, the more you have, the easier it is to earn.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes that makes me want to have a conversation and pick your brain a little bit about, that's generally the secret sauce to what blockchain brings to gaming. Like the idea that you can receive a reward for your time and effort in an ecosystem, whether it's Axie or Splinterlands or wherever. It's got to be tied to a certain amount of further up and further in. Like that's the Narnia. That I love that language. It's from Chronicles of Narnia, which is one of my favorite book series. But it's just like this idea of, you're going deeper and deeper and deeper into the system, and out of that closeness and your connection with it is the multiplier by which you can benefit. And I think some people are critical of that. I should say before I say anything else, like I haven't touched Gala. I don't own any Gala. I've never played anything from Gala, but what do you think about just generally? Cause don't you see that
I
tension, Kolsker? There's a tension. Like some people like, no, you shouldn't
I
have to buy
I
so much.
sold all my Gala assets
Mm,
more than about a year ago.
okay.
Um, Kind of around the Rooney time, Townstar was stopping their reward system,
Mm-hmm.
so I felt that my NFTs were soon to be worthless.
Mm,
If there wasn't a a weekly reward that could, you know, if there was nothing, then the NFT just sits there.
mm-hmm.
Like there was the game was literally stopped,
Mm,
and then they kind of restarted in like January, and like they've just never re-implemented the reward system after a year and a half.
mm.
So and like some of the other games on Gala were always just promises and never came out. So I quit, but I keep up on it just because it's part of the system and like, the ecosystem and like
Yep.
if they have the new game that they have, you can play the poker on Apple devices downloaded through the App Store.
Wow,
And
that's
you
really
can play
surprising.
on Android, but you cannot do any of the NFT stuff on the app.
But,
So, like, when you set it up on Gala on the website, you purchase an NFT,
mhm.
and then your account gets distributed to a certain amount of tokens every day, and then you can go to your phone and play the poker.
I see.
So that is an interesting thing,
Can
and
I
that's
question?
why they're pumping.
Question. So do you get a certain amount of free tokens, and then you can obviously acquire more with real. You could spend fiat to buy more of these tokens. True.
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure because I didn't download the app.
Mm. Well, anyways, what do you think about this idea that sometimes with some of these games, like even the poker one you talked about, the more you have, the more you can really get. The same is really true with Splinterlands, and I think that's like the secret sauce to what is special about blockchain gaming. You can earn you ought to be able to receive something for free or almost nothing. But really substantive multipliers to me should come out of a product of you've been invested.
Yeah, yeah. The people that have invested more should have a little bit higher return for
Hmm.
sure, and
The
it should kind of be progressive to, you know,
yeah.
guys like you that have, you should earn a little more than me.
Yeah. The challenge is finding that balance though, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep it in, perspective. It is just a game. You can't put your whole life savings into it or anything like that.
Mm. Um,
You
so
know,
so did you said like about a year ago you sold Gala. Were you and you said around the time of Rooney, was that because you wanted to move into Rooney or just
uh,
coincidental?
coincidental.
Gotcha.
I mean, I bought a Lux, I bought a Rune, I bought 3 Rooney.
Mm.
Um, so like, it was nice to have that available,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more about what Gala was doing, and I thought they were, you know,
Gotcha.
just not something I wanted to invest in. They've um, fully re-engineered their node program,
Hmm.
and I mean, I didn't really look into it too much, but I would assume that like node holders felt like they had not gotten the return that they thought they were going to get,
Interesting.
especially the ones that overpaid at the height.
Yeah.
Uh, so they re-engineered that, so they're redistributing tokens differently. Uh, I just Matt and Aggie have always had like a plan that I liked more than any other
Hmm.
crypto that I found.
Yeah. Me too. It is eerily like the words you used around nodes though. I mean, I know the Gala nodes went crazy. Um,
They
so,
did.
but at the same time,
They
you could say much of what you said about their nodes about our nodes. Hey, like I mean, in the sense of the prices haven't gone where we wanted. They did cost more in a sense before because of the SPS price, what it used to be, and I guess people spent SPS into it, and now theoretically that's like a paper loss in a sense that became realized because you well I guess it is and it isn't because you sold in some sense you sold to move into the validator opportunity. Do you have any validator node licenses?
I actually I had one and I sold it,
Yep.
and that was really just because I I bought 500 packs in Rebellion, and I bought a tract um, about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Hmm. I think I heard
Um,
about this. You paid
After
you paid 8, didn't you?
7,000.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, or I might have seen you talk about this on one of the other lives. Did you mention this in like a comment, maybe on like an after sound
I
or
did.
yeah,
Yeah, I was kind of trying to get feedback, like if people thought I was stupid to do it or anything like that. But I mean, like I bought most of my DEC at that 69, 70, 71 number,
nice.
and I didn't really wait for it to pump because I thought if it pumped, the node prices would go up,
Yep.
and like I might not catch it at the
Yep.
right time.
Yeah.
So I got it. It was a little bit less than 7,000 USD,
I mean, that
but
that's solid. This
like
is interesting to me. Smirk is trying to let one go for 6,700. I am
yeah,
I oh man, I just really this is to me I felt like I now really feel and I maybe have for 6 months like I am just like a stone that you can't squeeze anymore. I don't have anything extra to put on it, bring in. And in my previous like a year and a half ago, I used to work in a different area, different industry, and I got paid, quite a bit more. So there was more flexibility financial wise to kind of go deep in moments like this. That right now
right.
I'm feeling quite tied down, and that's not in the sense of oh man I wish I had less. Actually, in the sense of I wish I just had more finances to move in deeper. But especially when I see like I'd love to get a new track, man. I sold most of my plots for around $400 to $500 each, but mind you, as juicy as that might sound, that was sold to buy card assets that dramatically fell also.
Right.
So, it is what it is, but I am just wishing I could do more. I could acquire more. What is grabbing your
Yeah,
attention right now,
absolutely.
Kolsker? What is grabbing your attention, like asset wise?
It's land for sure. Um, and like after buying the track, and I sold 20 plots to a guild member
Mm,
right away,
mm,
just common plots. Uh, at a price that worked for both of us. And then uh, I'm going to give away a few more to some of my guild members and our TNA family,
yep.
just because I want them in hands of people that are going to be active
Yeah.
like right now,
Yeah.
and not people that bought land a year ago and
Yeah.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
Um, so like trying to keep the guild active like that
Mm-hmm.
with,
Mm-hmm.
just given all the members in our my guild TNX or TNA Legion X
Mm-hmm.
and the whole family of guilds, you know, uh,
Yeah.
just a chance to help and work the same land that will earn cards and spells that I will use for the guild over the next couple of years.
Hmm. Yeah, I see the I'm right there with you. Like I don't have a bunch of land, but I do have, like, for instance, even, guild points that I'm trying to, like, allocate wisely to try and make there be more incentive to be part of it, to be active, to to get into higher levels of the guild.
Right.
And I think the building, like, we're in a building phase, just like the game is in a building phase. I think when and if we get to a play today, I actually build my guild brawls, and I saw one of my guild brawls against one of my opponents. I actually, I don't want to show it. Well, I guess I can't show what I submitted, but one of them, I don't know who I was facing off against, but I saw that they actually have like a level of nerf that I haven't seen yet from my opponents, and it was like they add one or drop one speed for my team.
Yeah, some of the guild buildings we're facing are in tier 4 are
Yeah,
some of those guilds are pumping up.
yeah,
There's like 4 or 5 different symbols that are happening
that's right.
on those, you know, uh, 2 banishes.
Hmm.
I can't even remember now what that 4th thing is.
I don't know. The only one I saw that caught my eye was today, that +1 +1 speed, and I hadn't seen that yet. So, but my point in bringing it up is definitely that I think this is a building stage for this game and for our community. And so, yeah, if this is the time to kind of, if people are paying attention and if they're doubling down, I think we could separate ourselves, because there's a way. Like, the guilds that are really paying attention now are going to have more and more become more and more attractive, because there just aren't going to be easy on roads for some of those development. Like, it takes a lot of time and effort to make the guild buildings be what they need to be, even from the crown's perspective, because you can't go out and buy those.
Right?
You need to
Yeah,
earn
you
those.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I convinced my team members to go to tier 4 a little before they thought we were ready.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we haven't even gotten a 3rd place in tier 4 yet.
Yeah.
But I feel like our 4th, 5th, and 6th are getting us, those crowns and merits at a faster level than any other way.
Mm.
And it's just not even always about the SPS that we earn, but it's those crowns, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't get them any other way.
Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. I just want to say hello to the chat and see what comments we're getting out there. Gathering, I see you out there.
Nice.
Appreciate you popping by. He was the first one here. Dropped the comment, just wishing luck on the end of season, which I did record, and I'll put that video tonight. It's like a 5-minute video, nice quick little enjoyable one for later tonight. But yesterday I did get a gold foil in my daily rewards. I got a gold foil Kulu Mastermind, which was awesome. Legendary gold foil.
Nice.
Why not is in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Oscu, I see you out there. Gregory, thank you for popping by. I did see Tales from the Cryptmancers out there. Hello, Splinter fam. And who else? Richard. More cards in the end of the season. Silver chest for me. I have like 2 accounts that I'm playing right now. One's in a gold, and I got some decent, you'll see, but I got some decent rewards over there. And then simultaneously I made it to champ 2 this season. I'm not sure where you're fighting, Kolsker, but with your account, where do you fight?
Like, I'm not real heavy into anything except for Chaos Legion.
Yep.
So I have the bot running in Wild.
Yep.
And it gets to champ on like the last day or 2.
Yep.
So I'm pretty happy with that. And then when I battle on my own, I have to rent, and I have to rent pretty hard to compete in Modern.
Mm-hmm.
And I only do that when I have time and when it works with my guild brawls.
I hear you.
I combine the rental for that.
Yeah. So you double dip sometimes when you have the time, and you're playing in a certain guild brawl that allows you to rent some modern cards. You then put those to work in a 2-fold way where you're gonna enjoy.
Yep.
You're gonna climb a little bit in that modern. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm in silver and modern now, and I dropped back, and I dropped back into bronze, and it was hard to get out of it
Mm, yeah, it was.
because there's so many summoners that are available to everyone in bronze,
Hmm.
with all the with all the reward summoners, and then people using, you're playing Korra against Korra, and it's
Hmm.
like, who goes first?
Yeah,
It's just a coin flip sometimes in bronze.
yeah. And I mean, just speaking of that, I've noticed when I do fill in for frays, in even for gold foil frays, if you're playing the bronze, it's just such an inexpensive rental. Some cards are just
Oh
crazy
yeah,
cheap. They're like
yeah,
giving them away. Some exceptional cards. These are the summoners. These are gold foils on my screen, and we're a, like 2 DC is a high price. 2 DC for
yeah,
like here's a Lorna Shine for 4.5 DEC a day. I mean, that's nothing. I sure
yeah,
it's just a level, what, level 4? What is bronze, level 2? Rare.
yeah. I think. Are you looking at gold foils?
Yeah.
All those are just automatically bronze at level 1,
But I
or
but I but
whatever their first level is.
you're right, because that bronze, I was thinking at silver for a beat, because silver it's higher, but yeah, I mean, sure, it's not much card, but man, 4 DC, that's like 4/10 of a penny. And
Yeah,
I mean, the returns or the costs. But yeah, I sometimes, if you even go to, I play my bronze fray sometimes, but then I played the silver gold foil fray, and I think it might have been like a wild expression where you could, any card took, and remember it was like substantively more. Like, even if I look at this quickly, look at my filters, if I just make it silver, oops. So silver, same summoners, gold foil, all of the levels at silver, filters, and still relatively cheap, but we're like a 10x on
yeah,
prices now. Yeah, we're a solid 10. Like, even some of these are like a 100 DC is not nothing. You suddenly 300 DC, 500 DC, 500 DC. Like, some of these cards are quite at that level. They start getting expensive.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while when you're renting, you can make a mistake and be like, oh, I rented one that was 500 a day. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
But most of them, I mean, like, I do one of the phrases uh, with all the alpha beta,
Hmm.
and to rent every beta card out there, regular foil, is like 6,000 DEC.
Hmm. Yep.
To rent the whole beta deck,
Yeah.
it's like rental prices are pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, I rented for, that's what I'm doing, the alpha beta fray, which is at the diamond or the champion level.
Yeah,
Is that the one you're in?
diamond level.
Fray
Yes.
15 or whatever?
Yep.
Okay. I better not give you all my secrets, but I get I don't think we face off against one another, right? Like, would that happen? I guess it would
It's
happen.
been pretty rare.
Yeah.
I don't think we've played in a brawl at all. I know I've played we played TNA Legion 1
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
but no, I have not matched up against you.
Um, I wanted to
Most
say,
of the time I do gold foil.
yeah. Yeah, I like that too. But what you said earlier, I do try to, if I can, I like it if my fray can match and support the rank experience that I'm doing. Or I don't tinker with it with tourneys. I guess, are tourneys even, like, are they doing them right now? Because I remember like 2 weeks ago.
I play tournaments.
That's another way.
I have a lot of cards. I have a lot of DEC or SPS staked.
Mm,
So like I can get into pretty much every tournament now.
cool. What's your
Like,
SPS bag?
about 137,000.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting up there. Like I've been trying not to buy it as it's gone down over the last year.
mm-hmm,
Just trying to accumulate and accumulate.
mm-hmm,
So like, holding the land has helped. I did have the node for, a year and a half or whatever.
yeah,
So I've been collecting SPS pretty good and just
mm-hmm.
trying to build that.
Yeah, I had 3 nodes at one point, and that was helping for sure. And I crossed 100,000, and then I sold 2 of them for about 100,000 SPS. And I find that
Nice.
I'm getting I really feel like it's snowballing now because like I had 100,000 and I bought another 100,000. So it was actually like maybe I bought 90,000. So I had about 190. And in the last, I'm going to say, I don't know, I can't remember when that it was, but if I went back and look at my history, it's been a few months. Maybe I'm getting 10,000, 10 or 20,000 like a month. It feels like it's
Nice.
really adding up. I'm loving it.
I'm feeling the same thing with the
Mm,
SPS, and
mm,
just really feeling like that with the Bitcoin halving in the spring. Like, I feel like we're at the end of the accumulation phase, and it's like I'm trying to scramble as hard as I can to get whatever I can, and that's pretty much why I did the land, because after playing with the QA server and looking at the benefits of what the keep can do, the occupied lands being specific to SPS, the magic lands being specific to research, like those types of things, like my 7 plots that I had were not gonna help me grow.
mm-hmm,
And I wanted to make that move so that, you know, and then for the guild too, that we can all grow together
mm-hmm.
and help each other grow.
Yeah. I saw a comment from Oscu, and I want to say it's about Soulbound cards. And I've been like really fixated on these cards lately. I don't know. I'd like to look
Okay.
up your Soulbound maybe in a second here, but
Yeah,
um,
pull them up.
Oscu, first shout out to Oscu. Thank you for popping by, buddy. Second of all, I started my guild brawls, bud, and I think I've won two or three, so I'm fighting hard. And then third, he mentions in his comment there. When Izzyr got almost all Soulbound reward cards maxed, only Izzyr at level 1 BCX. This card to me, I'm noticing it like more and more often. This card really, really is significant. That I'm going to pull it up here. It's on the legendary. Where is she? I only have a level 2, but at the level it gets redemption. Oh no, Martyr. That's the one. Martyr, dude. Next level is a huge upgrade because the taunt and the void is so nice because there's magic only matches where this ends up being really helpful. I also really like this in conjunction with that True Strike Jared Scar, because you can get that. Jared Scar's a little bit vulnerable, but you put him in the first spot and he goes ahead and he can be very nasty with that bloodlust, and
Right.
he dies. That's his problem. But then you throw in a taunt in the back line there, and suddenly he's got more room to breathe. I'm finding that really is a powerful combo. I'm seeing a lot of people use it against me, and I try to use it in return, but not having a martyr is a big difference from level 2 to 3. Do you have that one?
I do have it. I have not been using it that much though. And like some of that is just because I just don't have the Untamed to really feel like I can compete in Modern. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know my reward cards as well as I should.
Yeah. Some of them are really powerful. Of course, it's always the case with certain extensions or decks. Like there's going to be some that are really pivotal and others that are a bit, mediocre. That's just normal. And then even some of the mediocre ones can grow into sort of a really special place because summoners or competition options that exist today might not exist in the modern later, or for that matter, new cards can come that synergize really well. So I love the evolution of the meta, but I think
Yeah.
right now about 5 of these are really powerful, and Izzyr does to me is one of those. It,
Nice. I'm gonna try to use it more.
mm-hmm. And you have a pretty good set over here. It says you're almost maxed on the commons, but then your gold foils, like this is a whole separate conversation. Like getting that gold foil is going to be, it takes time. It's going to take a lot of time, but
Yeah.
you're pretty close on the rares. I think you might even have more than me on the rares, Infidel. And then maybe I think I might have more gold foils, but you probably have more completion. Let's see. 99.87. Yeah, look at that. I'm at 99, 97 and 79. So you have a good like 8% more on the rares, but I probably have a little bit more over on the epics or the legendaries.
Nice.
These are great cards. I'm loving it. And I just did a video yesterday. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think about like this feels like what I think this is the direction for all future reward cards, but they've never said that. We could easily go back to the old rewards where it's transferable right out of the gate. And I wonder what your thoughts are. I see the pros and cons for both. If we make more Soulbound reward cards, the next edition of reward cards, maybe they're entirely Soulbound again, or maybe they're not. Do you see like a preference one way or another? And if so, why?
I kind of see like a compromise that like they'll be soulbound, but they'll be shorter.
I would like
it'll
that.
be bound to us for a shorter period of time.
I would like that.
Because like selling them right away is not awesome, because then people just extract that money and run. And not being able to sell them, and like some of those cards, I've got 150 regular foil common that aren't combined, so like I'm starting to collect a second copy, so like that's what makes it feel like it's been too long as a soulbound card.
I don't mind the second, but I hear you in that it's like, what I actually think when I hear you say that is, I think one day you're going to want more than one, because they'll be transferable.
I want 20.
Yeah. But it's not as exciting to receive the card you already have as it would be to start building a card no one has.
Right.
So I would love it if there was like a really, like, now this might not be feasible from a development standpoint, but smaller editions, like give us, there were times in the past when the rewards were handed out in a different way, where they would just release like, here's 10 new reward cards. Here's 10 new, here's 10 new. And you could almost do that where they were soulbound.
Yeah, smaller, quicker. I could see that. 3
months, 6 months, like 9 months, something like that. And then it's just gone. And you know what? You snooze, you lose. Like, yeah, you could buy it off the marketplace through transferability and DEC burning, but they would be scarce because that's quite a tight window. As you know from these cards, it's taken, I think, how long have these ones been out for? A year? I don't even know.
It's pretty close to a year, I think.
Chad, if anybody knows exactly when the Soulbounds came out, I'd love to see that in the chat, because that's a fact I keep wanting to look up, and I don't know.
I feel like it was around the Rooney time that those other cards ran out.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of bringing it back to when, because I remember one moment about that is I remember Jared Scar, there was almost none of those that had been printed, and that was included it was removed with the others like Oceanus that had been like thoroughly printed.
Right.
But if it's been a year, you and I are both pretty close to full on common and rare, and even like a pretty substantive epic and legendary pool. And if you started saying, no, only 3 months, or only 3 months is probably too short, but 6 or 9 months, then you know what's going to happen is people are going to want to spend more energy to play more games, to get more chests, to get more rewards.
Like if you have one that only needs 2 more BCX, then you're going to try to play extra to get that card to the next level, just because you want to be able to play it in gold or diamond.
Yeah. And then transferability is a path to that, but like because you would need to, like, as long as so let's say it was 9 months, because they said in chat saying in January 31st is when they came out, or January at some point.
Oh, okay.
And so that's 9 months ago, 9.5, 10 months ago. And so in 10 months time, call it in a year, like we're going to be pretty close to full if you're playing at diamond or champion level, which is where I'm playing and where I think you're playing. And so, and I don't buy a bunch of other extra energy. I don't know what do you buy energy?
But, every once in a while when I have time. I spent like 40,000 DEC trying to get out of bronze last week.
Yeah. Bronze is like,
it was rough.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Bronze is a hole in the ground. And it's so frustrating because there's not a lot of thoughtfulness that goes into it. And as we pointed out with the rental card prices, it's so cheap to perform to have all of the cards. Therefore, you can't distinguish yourself, which is one of the reasons why Soulbounds are even better, because having access to those cards that can't be acquired through money can separate yourself. And that I found getting out of bronze and silver, because I started in modern 2.5 seasons ago, and I made it to champion last. I made it to champion 2. Sorry, I made it to champion 3 2 seasons ago. I made it to champion 2 last season.
Nice.
And but I was bronze and silver were a nasty fight because of what I just said.
Yeah.
And the only way that I got out was really trying to learn how to utilize my soulbounds in an effective way, because they separate me from some of the competition that's out there.
Yeah, and the gladiators at those levels.
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah. I saw a comment that I wanted to touch with on here. Gathering says need to be able to burn soulbound cards to get other ones you need. That's if they did something like that, like we talked about, transferability. If you were one copy away from what you needed, one BCX away from the next level, and then it was no longer available, that would be frustrating unless transferability allowed you. But this is one of the possible solutions. You could, if you let me burn 4 BCX of legendary soulbounds and I get one of my choice or something like that, maybe it has to be even bigger numbers, but something like that where there's an avenue, a path to me to get it. I think that's the play.
I like that. I think that would work really good if you could just, and then it wouldn't really affect the market at all, because it's just straight, you're trading your own assets essentially.
Yeah. I guess you would have to be concerned about card inflation in some sense, because it might mean that there would be some that were really, really valuable, and
all of a sudden there's 12,000 Quoras.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. But I still think.
Or would you?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what's that blue sneak or no opportunity?
Yeah.
That everybody likes.
I know who you mean. I don't know her name. She's Opportunity. I think she costs 5. She's really great. She's one of my favorites. I'll pull her up.
I'm thinking of the reward one that I think it costs 9.
I'm looking at legendary. Yeah, I'm only looking at legendary. So there she is. Isgald Vorst. Is that the one?
Oh no, I was thinking of the reward card.
Oh, is it like a?
No, it costs 9. There.
Oh yeah, that one's amazing. That's Kulu Swim Hunter. That's a legendary.
Yeah.
There it is.
Right there. Everybody would just burn all their cards, and we would all have a maxed Kulu.
Yeah.
Or
This is the one I got today or yesterday. Gold foil. Big. I was super pumped about that. I only had 3 daily chests, and this was one of them. So guys, before we go any further, I just want to say, if you're just popping in, first of all, thank you for hanging out. Drop a like, let people know, let YouTube know. Second of all, I'm hanging out with Colsker. Colsker is one of the time and attention guys, the leader at TNAX. And we wanted to come on and talk Splinterlands, of course, because we both love it. But also we've got some plans to do a giveaway, some land giveaway. And we'll be meeting up. Are we meeting up again next week? Same bat time, same bat channel.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, so we've got something planned, and the intention is to benefit Time and Attention Guild members, but there will be something for just the public. So I hope you guys come hang out again same time next week. We're not done. I want to make sure. We've already gone 40 minutes and we haven't even said that yet. We're hoping to communicate this fact. So yeah, stay tuned for more details, and yeah, join Time and Attention if you need a guild spot. I want to say to the chat, I see, let's see, Stock Jockey, thanks for coming by. Jason Jenkins believes in XRP too. Dwayne, I would say you're on the money with XRP. Yes, you can play around with their coins, but you know in your heart that the ones that will stay. I would say big coins, definitely I lean toward them. Let's put it that way. Top 10, top 20 coins. You can have fun with some of these, like, I'm sure people in the chat, you've tinkered with like some really long shots, as I have. But I mean, yeah. The times that I've got burned more often than I have than sort of hit the moon. And so I generally prefer those bigger cap coins. And that's one of the only ones that has clarity, man. That's a big deal. Stock Jockey, hey brother, Tales from the Crypt. Kolsker's what top G in Splinterlands says YT.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Thanks, bro.
yeah. Dragon, good to see you, pal. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're well, and yeah, hope everything's good. Gathering. We need more peeps to participate in Guild Brawl, says Gathering. In the Guild Brawls in TNA 3, almost no one doing Guild Brawls. Oh man, that's no good. Yeah, we definitely need some boots on the ground. Reach out to Gathering the Magic. Oh, iHorse is in the house. Just to say hi, Dwayne. No more salt. Love Splinterlands. BTC will lead the way. Yes, it is. But even like this, I've said this before. I need to say it every time I talk about it because I'm not a technical analyst, but you know, Bitcoin is in a good spot. Looks like it, and you know, it's rolling sideways, but that's you know, coins take breathers on the way up, and it seems positive to me. But then, yeah, like as you look at, these are my top 22, and there's some good green candles in here today. Even XRP pushed above 58 today. I got my bag around 15 cents mostly, so I'm like a happy camper. But yeah, what are you, Kolsker, what sort of coins are you interested? If you want, you don't have to tell it, you know, if you don't want to unlock your bags, you don't need to, but is there any coins that you're looking at?
I'm pretty Splinterlands and Bitcoin maxi at the moment. You know, like I have Ethereum and Bitcoin, and
yeah,
I'm just not playing with too many altcoins other than Splinterlands.
Yeah, that seemed honestly, in the past, I got into crypto when Bitcoin was around 3,000. And truth be told, I had 15 grand at the time. If I just put it into Bitcoin, you know, I'm doing quite well like that. And I did nothing else. Like I just put into Bitcoin and walked away. I'd be a happy man. But in fact, along the way, I got into this stupid project and that stupid project, and I traded and I leveraged and I, you know, lost in a lot of ways, made mistakes. You know, those were all learning experiences. And I'm glad I walked through that because it helped me get to a different place where I am now. But, I'm a fan.
I trade Bitcoin on Femex. So I do, you know, longs and shorts, and I'm watching Bitcoin on the 1 minute to the 1 month chart every day. So like I play with Bitcoin mostly, and then I have all my fun money in Splinterlands.
Yeah, I like that. My fun money, dude. If this goes the way, you know, I think we both agree, Kolster, what is coming for Splinterlands. And
I think it's going to be kind of a natural progression of crypto that, you know, Splinterlands is in a good position for the next pump.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course we've had our hiccups. It's been a long, prolonged bear market, and people don't like using that language once Bitcoin like left the 20s. But I mean, the word still applies because the whole market is still, much of the market is still feeling that weight. And I think we will have many of those other coins will have their moment in the sun. Not all of them. It's not like every crap coin, you know, will have its heyday. But I mean, Splinterlands is not. And I know I am deep in this. So, you know, you take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, whether I'm looking at the commitment from the audience, the growth in the player base, and yes, our game has had massive growth, not from its top, but from its bottom. And then, you know, the game development is getting better and more exciting. There's more interest and intrigue around it. There's new cool developments that are here and coming. 1.5 and Rebellion are definitely two of them, but then even just the other game developments, like I know Golem Overlord isn't directly, but it's a thing where it's attracting a certain amount of attention. GLG is not my cup of tea, but I hear people talking about it. I was watching After Sound or After.
Yeah, people are seeming to like it now.
So it's just like, you hear me. It's like one thing after another. There's just different things that are attracting and causing me to be more and more and more bullish. And, you know, just time will tell, but I am so confident. I mean, that's the thing. Like it's like even with XRP, which I like, even with Ethereum, which I like, I I feel like this is a tangible, like there's an actual audience for this. Sure, it's
Right.
small, but man, small is a great place. Like that means opportunity. It means if it was massive, like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes up, if Bitcoin from right now goes up to $50,000, that sounds crazy. It sounds awesome. But man, that's not even a 50% gain from where we are. And so
Right.
the multipliers don't exist in some of these tokens. And now maybe it makes sense to hold a lot of that as like a, as like a hedge in some sense, if you like crypto. But I just want to see some outside gains. And therefore I think I look at projects like this and I think, yeah, there's real opportunity in Splinterlands to go in a big way.
And I mean, it's a game and it's supposed to be fun with a possible benefit. I mean,
Mm,
like, look at how much money people spend on Fortnite.
yeah.
Nobody owns shit. All right. I mean, I'm sorry, but like nobody owns anything from.
Yeah. Yeah.
To me, it's like millions and hundreds of millions of wasted money. It's just insane that that happened. Like, and these games just keep doing that. Like, eventually people are going to catch on that they're throwing their money out and they
Yep.
should just play something that has even a small chance of getting something back.
Yeah. It's wild to me that, and I've been one of those guys. I spent hundreds of dollars on D2, Diablo 2 back in the
Yeah,
day.
I mean,
Uh,
oh yeah,
buying armor, and I know you're not supposed to do that, but like that happens. And
yep.
because I just want to have fun with the game. I don't want to spend
I
10,000 hours grinding. I want to just have
I
cool
went and
armor.
bought gold for Warcraft out
Yeah.
on the market just so that I could facilitate things in game.
Yeah.
And like those were gold farmers in China that were working 24 hours a
Yeah.
day on the same account.
Yeah.
Like that's just, even if that happened in Splinterlands, we went through the bot stuff.
Hmm.
Like, but if people are playing the same account 24 hours a day, that'd be awesome. Because they still have to buy assets to do better.
Hmm. Yeah. Skeeter, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping by. And Alex Toro in the house. And Ike, good to see you too, bud. Lots of friendly faces. I haven't seen some of the names in a while. Appreciate you popping by. I don't, the public lives don't happen as frequently, but if you want more Splinterlands live content, I'm doing it almost every week for my members only. And whether you're bronze or diamond or champion or whatever financial level you support the channel, it's available to you. Plus, there's a plethora, like a whole back library of old Splinterlands content. So check it out if you're interested. It's on the membership page of my YouTube channel. It's
Great
like,
stuff.
thanks,
Very
man.
informative.
Yeah. Actually been going on heavy on coins like what else is new? If you guys have any questions,
Alex
oh go ahead.
Alex just said in the chat that he sold gold in WoW. I probably bought from him.
Hmm. And with I never played WoW, but obviously gold was used to buy in-game assets, in-game what gear or what?
Yeah, gear, mounts mostly. I bought the gold to buy a two-person flying mount so I could carry friends around.
Nice. Do you play
Yeah,
other games like at this time in your life? What are you playing besides this?
not much.
Are you
Really,
playing?
not much at all.
And it is I think you answered this question earlier, but I want to I guess explicitly ask it. Are you paying attention to anything that's not like anything Web 2.0, or is it all 3.0?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, other than that, I hear in like social settings and just people talking about some game they're playing. No, I don't really pay attention to any Web 2 anymore.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of made that decision 2 years ago that if I was going to start putting money into crypto games, that I was going to do that. And then over the course of those 2 years, I've settled on Splinterlands.
Yeah.
So that like I'm just I don't even think about like downloading a game on my phone
Mm,
to like you know to just play randomly. I just don't even do it anymore. I'll
yeah.
like call a friend or do something, and then I just don't play games anymore except for Splinterlands. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it is weird. You said it earlier. You talked about at some point you realized that there was like, well, even you talked about how people are for like, I think you said Fortnite, but any game, people sinking money
Yeah.
into this stuff and they're getting nothing out of it. Sure, you get to
Yeah,
you
I mean,
wear the
look at
skin.
Marvel Snap right now.
Yeah,
I mean, like it's just like raking in money, and
yeah.
then, I mean, I don't know. I just can't even understand it anymore after doing this for 2 years.
I know, and I think most of the world will. This might be like a Dwayne drank the Kool-Aid sentence, but I'm going to say it anyways. I just do not believe, like I'm convinced that the world of gamers will recognize the power of NFT coming into like blockchain technology meeting video
Yeah,
games. And
I think there's a light bulb moment for the gamers
yeah, and
coming.
I also think the developers will too, because
Yes.
they even like from their own financial perspective, not only like you already have a captive audience, like people say like, well, why would Call of Duty or something like this want to touch it? Because they actually, it's like another vector of attack or sort of financial opportunity. There's, I mean, you literally already have this captive audience that comes back every year because they love your game, whether it's NHL or whether it's, you know, Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever the case may be. They keep coming back because they love you. But then if you just create these like these essentially these financial opportunities for that player, and you know, if you just look at how, you know, sales of Rooney work and a certain percent come back to Splinterlands forever. I think it's forever. I might be wrong about that. It's like 1% or 2%.
Yeah, every time a sale happens.
Yeah. So I mean, just literally that opportunity is so easy to implement, and I know that there's, you know, okay, so which blockchain are you going to go on, and understanding all of that, and there's a black eye with crypto, and maybe they don't want to touch it at this moment, but what I'm talking about is a future that I really see their own financial self-interest outweighing their concerns and hesitation, and that will allow them to overcome it, and they'll get into a place where it's just normal. And so that doesn't mean that Splinterlands is the only one that will benefit. I'm saying this will literally change gaming for the future,
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that the game that's going to kick that off hasn't been invented yet. That we're all sitting here waiting for that.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it will benefit all the other games in crypto.
Yeah.
And it's going to be something that has like easy onboarding,
Yeah.
something that's in some type of trusted space.
Yeah.
And I kind of think it's going to be Meta, Facebook.
Is that right, eh? I don't.
That's what I believe. That like the stuff that he's been talking about, they said that they're working on all of the Meta stuff full bore again. And like they want to build a metaverse that all the other metaverses connect to. And that I think is going to be kind of a tipping point in like augmented reality, AI, like all those things kind of coming together, and crypto's going to have to be the fuel because it's not going to be any certain country's digital currency.
Yeah, I could see that, but at the same time, to me, some of the immersive like virtual reality experience, because Meta's like they've said that they want to offer augmented reality stuff, and then I look at games and I look at Splinterlands. Even they've had virtual experiences, and I find them underwhelming and unimpressive, at least at this moment in time. Now,
Well, and
go ahead.
to me, I don't think they need to be that special. I think they need to be a tool that's easier to use. And I think that's kind of like natural progression. That like my sister's a realtor and they're already doing augmented reality tours of properties that are, you know, across the earth. And like it's like you're walking through the house.
Yeah.
Like some of that stuff is, And when all of that stuff gets tied together, I think crypto is just really set up to be in a good spot.
Hmm. Yeah, I certainly think that's not going to hurt. It's going to be part of the. I think that even AI is like it's a different conversation, but it's a similar conversation in that it's a technological development that's been unfolding in the background and getting better and better
Right.
quietly. And I think to myself, and I have thought to myself, like, whatever, it's not that big a deal. But then, like, even last week, I was messing around with ChatGPT again, and I am impressed by it. And
Yeah, it's cool.
I think there's a lot of room to grow, but I am impressed by it.
And the more thoughtful and complex your questions are and what you inquire from chat GPT, the better it gets. You
Hmm.
know, the more information you feed it,
Hmm.
it's just really cool.
Yeah.
And every day I mean, like, I'm 52. So like I was playing games in the 80s. I had a Commodore 64. I was
Mm.
writing lemonade stand with basic and then playing it myself.
Hmm.
Like I've been a gamer for a long time, and watching how the internet has changed
Hmm.
gaming, and then just watching like the AI stuff that's happening.
Yeah,
I'm just, I can't imagine what's gonna happen in the rest of my life.
I
It's
know.
just amazing, the stuff we're gonna see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm even me, I'm 42, and my first games were like Super Mario for the Nintendo. I never owned any.
That was my college.
My first console was the Nintendo NES console, and
Nice.
I got it when I was 5 years old, and then I got everything after. I got Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, I got Sega CD, um, and yeah, I just kept going, adding and adding and adding. Even today, I have many of those consoles still, and it's just it's a I've always been a gamer, I guess is what I'm saying. I love it, and but as much as I still enjoy all of those things, and I still will go back and enjoy some of those games even today, as I think about what it is, what the difference between those experiences and what this experience represents, like this battle I just watched, that guy, Buddy D Stampede, shout out to Stampede, he got 5.6 SPS for that victory, and it's only, I know it's 1.4 cents, so call it 10 cents or something like that, 8 cents. Who cares, right? But man, it matters. 8 cents. First of all, even if it was only 8 cents, but it's not. It's actually 6 SPS, which one day might be more than, like, 50 cents or a dollar. And so, I mean, as I look back at those old gaming experiences that didn't give me anything except for joy, and I think to the modern moment where I'm getting both joy and reward, and I look forward to the future that you're talking about, where we don't even maybe know what projects are going to come, and I think, wow, like for sure this is so obviously the path. And I think game
Yeah.
designers need to see that too. Like, it's going to take vision from them. It's always the visionaries that try it first, but then if you look at game development, like platformers, Nintendo like created that genre essentially. And there were more, there were attempts beforehand, but nothing like Super Mario like set the stage in some respect for like what that experience could be. And now even
Yeah.
today we have amazing games that are being made in that have essentially the same mechanic. Like, don't fall in the hole, don't get touched by the turtle, get to the end of the map. And so it's like we don't even know how to use the tool. It's kind of like, it's also like art. Like, if you look at, or music, you might see one musician that came out and did something really special with the guitar or distortion, and then another in a different generation like builds on that, because that's what we're at the beginning of looking at what this tool even could do. And
Yep.
then we will see people iterate on those amazing creations.
Yeah, and it's like the handful of tools that are all coming together at the same time.
Hmm.
That like this whole Web3 type of thing, that like there's a lot of people in the industry that are just bored with the internet and they
Hmm.
just want to move it forward just because they're playing with it.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, that happening with these tools that we have with crypto.
Hmm.
I mean, like, with each one of these crypto kind of having their own specialty and each blockchain focusing on different things, it's just awesome.
Hmm. Absolutely. I did
I
see
mean, like, I do a lot with real estate,
yeah.
and like, I think very soon title companies all over Earth are going to be using Ethereum smart contracts instead of fax machines,
Hmm.
because they're still using fax machines to send signatures.
Yeah.
It's it's silly.
Hmm.
Like, we're on the edge.
Yeah. It's really cool to watch. My dad, he passed away in 2004, but as I think about, you have a certain tale at 52. I have a different tale at 42. My dad, he was born in 47, died in 04. I guess, like, if I try and imagine right now what he would think about this world, or even that I'm like creating content right now on
Right.
like a global broadcasting device, YouTube application, that's wild to me. Like, I know that would blow his mind.
Yeah.
So as we look forward to what this could be, I don't even know that I have my mind wrapped around how big it could be. All I see is like possibility, and it
Yeah.
feels substantial, but I don't really know
Right.
yeah, what even what it even
I'm
is.
the same way. So that's just fun playing a game and trying to be a small part of it.
That's right. I saw a comment that I wanted to hear your thoughts on, because I was thinking the same thing recently. So we know that. Let's go first. Let's give some framing here. There's a new proposal coming through. And guys, by the way, we've been on for about an hour. If you are live and you're enjoying the content, please drop the thumbs up. And if you're just getting here, I'm hanging out with Kolskar. He's from Time and Attention. And we're talking Splinterlands. But right now, Kolskar, I want to mention there's the proposal up now for hire Claiborne as a DAO community project manager. I don't know where you land on this. Maybe that's a part of the conversation. I did say yes, and I said
I voted
yes.
yes also.
Okay. The topic I want to talk about is not so much whether we should or shouldn't. It's more like there's a comment I saw here. Let's see. Alex Toro goes off topic. Hey, do you know what I thought might be a good idea? If we took 300,000 from the DAO and put it into HBD and then put it into savings for 20%. And for those who don't know, let's go over to Hive. Hive has, so when you make rewards for posting on Hive, you could get paid in Hive back dollar and HP, which is Hive power. And I've got some Hive back dollar there. And I personally, like others, will put my Hive back dollars into savings. And there's a 20% transfer to savings here. I can go max. And then there's a 20% interest rate on those savings, or inflation if you want. It says balances subject to 3-day withdrawal, waiting period, HBD interest at 20% APR as voted by the witnesses. And so what he's suggesting is that we take some of those assets that are sitting in an account doing nothing, and we put them to work. And I could see pros and cons for this. One, we would be buying HBD, which is not always a true stable coin. Two, we would be buying someone else's stable coin. DEC is supposed to be a stable coin. If we're liquidating some of our assets to buy HBD, I don't know if that's going to help our community directly. But I do like the idea of putting it to work. I wonder what your thoughts are, Kolskar, about either this or somehow other or another putting that money to work.
First off, you have to sell the assets from the DAO. So, like, that selling pressure out there on the market might not be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the 20%, that's awesome. I like diversifying the DAO, but it's just that initial selling pressure that worries me.
Yeah.
That I feel like we're going to have to wait a little bit until we get a little bit larger player base,
Mm-hmm.
and then we should kind of set up like a regular sell schedule,
Yeah.
so that everybody knows, kind of like with the whole SEC and the XRP thing, and that CEO Brian or whatever that had to sell all of his XRP,
Yeah.
and everybody in the world knew there was 1 million XRP on the 20th every month.
Yeah.
Like, that sell pressure scares me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to diversify the DAO into other stable coins.
Hmm. And this is like, this is a quote unquote stable coin. I say that, just not to throw shade, but just to really be clear that like, this is not,
Yeah.
yeah, these are, I don't actually know the code of how HBD works, but as you can see, we've got quite a bit of volatility. Everything all the way up here from $2.20 per, all the way down into here, which was 69 cents. That stings. If you got 300 grand in there and it loses 30%, that stings.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and I hear you about the sell pressure and liquidating those assets, and we would be selling, I think, DEC, SPS, and then there's others. There's some. If we look at the blog post where Matt actually proposes that they do this, he says in here some numbers. I wonder if I can find it. So he wants to
If
give him.
anything, I would just go with like some type of regular schedule that was small at the beginning.
So
That,
check.
we sell 1 million DEC every week, and
Mhm.
then we sell 5 million DEC every week, and then like start slow and grow, but like something on a regular schedule everybody can see.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Definitely don't like the idea of, here's the keys to the castle and sell it while you see fit. I'd rather it be proceduralized. But this is interesting from a cost perspective. He says about Claiborne, $60,000 salary, which he's referring to, is being offered as a for the role. It comes to only about 4% of the non-Splinterlands funds that the DAO currently has, which is to say
Right.
that the DAO has like quite a bit of non-Splinterlands funds that we theoretically could sell. I don't know the math quickly enough, but if 60K is 4%, we're over 600K. We're probably
Yeah.
$1 million worth of non-Splinterlands assets that we could liquidate to do something like that. And I do see value in it. I see to myself like Hive, the extent to it. Now we have a different audience. Like it's not as if we support Hive, that will see a direct benefit to Splinterlands in the sense of if Hive thrives, that we'll get new players in our game. That I don't see a connection exactly there, because there are people who play Hive or use Hive that don't play our game.
Right.
But I definitely like, this. I do think Hive's not going anywhere. I do think it's interesting and exciting that there is a 20% APR. I do think even if there was volatility on the HBD, this could be valuable. But I guess where I would land is I would rather them buy and hold DC than, which is a proposal that I've seen Bulldog put through, and I supported both times. And I know not everybody does. But what are your thoughts on that? About, because right now we're talking about putting it into HBD because we want to have a stable coin with some earning opportunity. But what about buying DEC and putting it into, first of all, what do you think about buying and holding DEC? Because we want to create buying pressure on DEC.
Well, I mean, I would almost like the DAO to burn a percentage of the DEC it holds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if it was collecting DC, I would like to see it just burn it right away. I'm looking at the Dow Treasury report right now. There's 5.4 million in Splinterlands assets and 1.5 million in non-Splinterlands assets.
Can you drop that in
So,
Discord? I
like,
want to pull that up.
yeah, for sure. This one is from the 23rd, I guess.
Okay. Boom. So I actually have never looked at this. I didn't even know.
They do this Dow report. It's pretty cool that they started doing this, and it goes through. It's got a lot of details here. 1.977. So just shy of 2,000 HBD in there already.
Cool, man.
Uh,
And it's probably just sitting there. See, we do need, this is why I kind of am for Claiborne or somebody being, because the truth is we don't even know, like most of us don't even know what's going on, let alone what our options are, and then what would be the best of those options. It really needs, you need somebody with a bit of guidance and thoughtfulness and understanding within the ecosystem to come forward with good ideas. So I'm
Right.
for him being in it, is where I landed.
Yep, I voted yes also.
Yeah.
It's it's something that's needed. Like even if he's not the best, it's a start.
Hmm.
That's the way I see it. Like, you know, if he's not the best one for the job, we'll find that out in a few months, but we need somebody in there to like cuz right now it's a business with no leader.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is kind of the way I see
It's
it.
literally a business with like a, we have an audience of people that can vote into it with our SPS stake, but then who comes up with the great ideas for the community to consider? Yes, decentralized governance can allow us individually to bring ideas forward and then debate those, and that can be very productive and valuable. But it absolutely makes sense to have some person attempting to be a visionary over it. And that would be an interesting job to even have. Like, as I start to think about that, like it'd be something that, I would love to see the right hands having access to that. Anyways, let's put it that way. I love that we can fire him through proposal. He can quit. I love that. I would also
I
say,
think it's a good first choice too that like that he's been kind of working behind the scenes a little bit
mhm,
and kind of doing some of the grunt work kind of
mm,
stuff of
mhm,
like, you know, watching everybody in Mav chat just cry about stuff all day long.
mhm, yeah.
And like I think he's coming from a good place that he could do really good at this. And
Mhm,
it could be really awesome that we have someone that knows how to communicate with Matt and the rest of the team and Steele is just one of us.
mhm. Oh, totally. Um, Something that I think about, you were saying deleting DEC. There's $672,000 worth of DEC in this account. Wow.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a lot of DEC. I think it's the largest holder of DEC now anywhere
so
is the Dow.
so 600, hang on, 100,000 million. So this is like, this might literally be, because we talked about how there's like, I think there's about 4.5 billion DC that's theoretically available, and
Right,
land could conceivably eat 7, but that's if you really fully activate land. So
right.
so, but then the 4 point whatever billion that exist of DC are not truly available, as indicated right here. Like, this is almost a billion DC, well, 3/4 of a billion, that are not going to end up in land. They're not going to end up spent on Riftwatcher packs. They're only going to be used how we see fit. And so, right there, you now bring your total down to essentially 3.5 trillion. Sorry, 3.5 billion. I mean, which is a huge difference in terms of how we understand how easy it could be to reach peg and keep there.
You had
But
to flip that switch.
yeah, one thing that I
Well,
make, oh, go on.
it's just we're really close because that liquid DEC is lower and lower every day.
Hmm.
Like it just happened in the last couple of weeks that the Dow became the largest holder.
Mm, look at this. DC supply just do, and then yeah, we had that pop, but then we're back on our way back down here. So we're just below 4.6 billion, and like I just said, 750,000 belong to the DAO itself. Now, from the perspective of utilizing that and burning that, even I wonder if, again, from the perspective of trying to get an ongoing revenue stream, because I keep coming back to it, we could use these funds to do so. I wonder if maybe we need to be putting it into a liquidity pool. And I know liquidity providers would hate this because it's going to diminish their returns, but you could put a DSC BUSD and start collecting APR. Now, It
Yeah,
wouldn't be.
it's gonna need to go somewhere. We can't just let it keep growing and sitting.
Yeah. And then what I think is, heck, you could burn half of that reward if you want. Like
Yep.
that. So we would be essentially soaking up potential DEC that could go into the marketplace, if not into us, into the marketplace. Then it ends up in the DAO, and the DAO has a mandate to burn half of it. And so, yes, we're profiting. Yes, we're using the resource, but we're also essentially soaking up what would be liquid DEC. What do you think about that?
I like that. I
Mm,
think burning a small amount all the time would be really cool.
yeah, because
I
it's
mean,
gonna end up in the marketplace if we don't step in here and support this, and not just this one, but I mean this one and really this one or any of the DEC pairs. It's going to. I mean, if you went DEC swap hive, you could transfer your hive into HBD and then do staking on the hive. You see, like, there's just ideas upon ideas upon ideas about how we could generate revenue with these resources, literally millions of dollars, $5 million in that DAO. Where is it? You showed me the number right now, $5.5 million. And I want to say right now, I think everybody in the chat knows this, but if the total funds in the DAO are $5.5 million, we all need to know that this is one of the reasons why SPS is an interesting hold, because we as
right.
SPS holders have keys to this bank account. That's huge.
Yeah, and I mean the DAO is just. I mean, it gets bigger every day. It's really. It's actually a very powerful structure as it is, and if we don't get someone in there to start kind of just the whole thing of making our proposals work,
Mm-hmm.
you know, him helping people write proposals is a very important thing, even though it's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because like we can't keep having a bunch of proposals that are written poorly and don't pass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we need them to be written in a way that we all like before they even kind of go up for a vote, that we
Yeah.
can kind of hash that stuff out.
Yeah.
And with him being there, bouncing ideas back and forth all time, I think it's a good thing. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, I like the idea of, you know, Weird Beard doing it with him, but I think it was pretty late in the game for that idea to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I voted yes, and I just think we need something, and something's better than nothing at this point.
Yeah. And it's not a permanent, we're not married.
Right.
Yeah. 60,000 US dollars annually, $5,000 per month. You paid in USDT tokens. And then it says somewhere members of the DAO would be free to submit a proposal to terminate this position for any reason. And I don't suspect that's
And
going to be you know what I mean? That'll, if there's legitimate reason for it, that's going to happen.
I did hear that Matt lowered the threshold for that vote also. And if a proposal did come up to fire him, it would only be 50% needed.
Assuming the proposal passes, any future proposals to end this contract will be a 50 plus majority vote to pass rather than the typical 66.
Right
That's
there,
great.
yep.
That's really great. This will help reduce the risk of the DAO accepting a proposal and ensure that 33% minority cannot keep the contract in place if the majority of SPS stakeholders want it to end. I love that.
Yep. Yeah, I really like that part too. That kind of made it a no-brainer yes vote for me.
Cool. Really cool. I didn't know that. I didn't actually read that factor, so I'm glad. What pushed me over the edge was just simply the idea of, okay, first of all, it's only 4% of the non-Splinterlands assets. That actually blew my mind. I was like, wow, we have that much money in there. And then secondly, it was like just what we talked about with like there's actually a million ways you could put that money to work. $5.5 million. I want to see that. I want to see that utilized. I want to see it leveraged for our gain, because the gain of the DAO is the gain of the game. It actually would help the economy, will help the players, will help the, attract new eyes. Like it's just a win-win-win-win-win if we do it well. But it's hard to do it well without a pilot.
Right.
Yeah. If the chat has anything you want to get into, I'm happy to do it. Otherwise, should we talk a little bit more about land and like, should we just tease it and say that we will be doing a giveaway this time next week, and people should come, and time and
Yeah,
attention guildmates should
absolutely.
come,
Yeah.
and
We're gonna
yeah. So the same, we're gonna go. If you're okay, Kolskar, I got another half an hour. We'll keep going live. You're still fine for time?
Yeah, I'm good.
Amazing. So guys, we will be on for another half an hour. But this time next week, we will be doing a land giveaway. And it will be, last time, Kolsker, I gave away a plot of land. I ran into trouble because I gave it away to like people that weren't present. And then it was like this whole song and dance to chase them. So what I'm strongly recommending, and Kolsker's donating this land, guys. So I want to say this is just a recommendation, but I think we need to make people be there. And so I don't know what you think about that. If you have any pushback, we talk about it, but at least
No, I'm cool with that.
yeah, I think it makes sense. Otherwise, you end up getting it's so anti, what's the word, like climactic. It's anticlimactic because you're like, oh, and so wins, and they're not even here.
Right.
So come out next week, guys, and we will also, it's going to be, you'll have preferential opportunity if you are a guildmate. So if you're a time and attention person, be here. If you're not TNA and you want to be, Gathering the Magic was saying number 3 needs some help. I think 1 and 2 probably have some spots also. Out of X, does X have spots?
We do have spots for sure.
Yep.
We're doing Legion or Tier 4 for the brawls. So some of the guys that we've talked to about joining didn't want to brawl at that level.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a gong show at 4, man. There was some tough competition last not this guild brawl, but the last guild brawl. I faced off in the silver gold foil fray against somebody with 11 million collection power.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that kind of weight in a while.
Yeah, those gold foil Tier 4 brawls. I mean, everybody's above 5 or 6 million.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm at 5.5 million, and I feel like a lightweight compared to some of these guys. And like, this is my deck 6.2, but I think that's with rentals. Let's see, owned. Yeah, see, I got 5.7. Now, let's see. I might have another 200 or 500,000 over on my secondary account, so I might be just over 6 million. But then also, you know what I've been thinking about recently? Maybe we could talk about this for a few minutes, unless there's something in the chat or something you want to get into, Kolsker. If you have any topics, I'm happy to go there.
Nothing special.
But one thing I recognize is, card prices have been falling. And I one thing that I think we are not remembering as we look at that, even myself, is that the Soulbound reward cards we've been receiving don't have a price tag to them right now. And so you have to admit, like I just showed you earlier, I pulled this legendary gold foil here yesterday. That's going to have a price tag. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's 10, 50, 100. Probably it's an exceptional card. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in that $50 or $100 range. But it's going to have a price. And I've been quietly acquiring these since the chat like pointed out. January is when they started. So 9-10 months of acquiring these things. You have almost a full deck. I have almost a full deck. These are going to have a price tag. I don't know if it's $1,000, $10,000. It's some number. And right now that's not reflected in my card collection price point. What do you think about, do you think there's going to be a reasonable value on those? Do you think it's going to be too hard to make them transferable so they won't really, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think some of them are going to have value for sure. I mean, if you can just sell it on the market in a couple months from now, yeah, absolutely, it's going to have value.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out there that haven't been able to acquire those cards.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
The thing is, like, it's weird how when new cards come on and, like, the market kind of just absorbs that value. And it's not like, I don't think if you look at like Splinter cards and it says that all the card value out there in the is 47 million, 47.6 million for the total card market cap. I
Mm,
don't think that like the day that those reward cards are available that all of a sudden there's going to be another $1 million of market cap.
mm.
So it's those cards will be available inside of the same market cap somehow. Like I'm not sure how that'll actually
Interesting.
work.
I think I maybe disagree, but I want to talk about it because I want to like think this through out
Right
loud.
there, yeah.
I want to think it through out loud. As I hear you say that, so on the screen, guys, it shows on splintercards.com, you can see the card market for almost 48 million for the total market cap for Splinterlands card assets. And there's $11,000 worth of market volume from the last day. Uh, and one of the things I often think about when I think about total of a market cap is the fact that the daily volume has a massive impact on the market cap because if you know we're if $11,000 can move the market for today, if that's like enough volume to move to sort of supply to match all today's volume. Like if you
Right.
had 10 grand to throw at the market today, you would move the needle in terms of price points and market cap in a massive way. Even probably 2 grand being spent on key cards would buy up some of the floors that change the market cap in a meaningful way. So what I'm wondering is, first of all, I think what I'm saying is two parts. Like a small amount of money can move the market cap quickly, and the second conversation that I'm starting is those new cards get listed and they have a price, and whether one copy of that card is on the market or not, let's whether you say one copy of the Kulu, let's focus on one example. So Barrack Snake, no, back up. I want to show the gold foil because I love it. Where to go? So Kulu Mastermind, I've got one copy. And if you look at Peak Monsters and you look at some of the gold foil monster legendaries, you know, you're talking like 30 to 50 bucks. And I would say that this is probably more rare than some of these guys here. But anyways, that's a pretty decent price tag. And you might think, well, I don't know if it's going to sell for that. Okay. First of all, it's a great card. Second of all, not all of the copies will be made transferable on day one. It'll take somebody to burn DEC into it to make it transferable. And so there'll be a small amount of them that exist as transferable. And that means a very limited supply that are actually on the market, which to me means a much higher price tag than you might think by looking at the Peak Monsters legendary gold foil data. Because all of the Torrent Fiends are liquid. All of the Oceanuses are liquid, all etc. So I'm saying I expect a higher price point for some of these cards. Second of all, when you sell one copy of it, I think the market cap is calculated based on last sale times total, BCX existing. And so I
Okay.
think they would probably call it, if you sold one of these for $100, the market cap would grow by, like, I don't know how many BCX of a Kulu Mastermind there are, but they would just do 100 times, 10,000 copies or whatever it is. And so suddenly I think you would see this massive growth to the market cap, but it would be in some sense exaggerated. Let me know what you think about any of that, and if you think I'm missing something, because I want to think this through is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not sure that anytime I've looked at that market cap, releasing cards didn't really do much to it.
Okay.
Like, I just haven't really. I don't know. Somehow we're we're not going to just all of a sudden be working with new money. I think somehow it self-adjusts itself. Other prices come down, and we kind of adjust back into that same market cap,
Yeah.
even though there's new cards.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird kind of a thing that like I just sent you the one from SM Voter Hut that has this market cap on a chart.
Okay.
Uh, that that channel SM Voter Hut, I watched that quite a bit, and like it has a little bit more detail than like Splinter Cards does.
Mm.
Uh,
Is this it right here?
top 10 most valuable decks. Like you got like top 10 total BCX. There's like all different kinds of things that you can search in this channel.
Okay, hang on a second. This is, I want to, so it's in Splinterlands and SM Voter Hut. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the channels in the Discord that you can type commands into, and it'll give you feedback from the blockchain. And like, just as I've watched that chart, anytime there's been different cards that have come up, it's just never really affected market cap in any kind of a way that I thought it would.
Okay. Well, I can see it on my Discord app, but I can't find it on my Discord web app for now. That's okay. I don't want to tinker with it too much, but
Right.
yeah, I think I kind of see what you're saying. If let's say the market cap grew because of this new card, in some sense that might mean also that I've sold other ones for a loss to get this to buy this one. So there's a give and a take maybe. Yeah, that probably makes sense. And it's to me it's like, it kind of is whatever. It is 6 in one hand, half dozen in another. Because it's like, but I do think, I guess where I want to land is these cards will have a price. And
oh yeah.
And they will be probably more interesting than some people think. And I think whether or not the total market cap goes up is kind of a different conversation than whether or not Dwayne's card supply or total value goes up.
If you're saving and holding the good cards and not worried about the ones that won't hold value because they just don't work in the meta, yeah, your value will change for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Gold foils. Some of these, oh man, every time I look at the marketplace, I think to myself, like, I just bought a gold foil of Shannis the other day. I couldn't resist myself. Like $33 is what I think I paid. Some of these prices, man, I know it's not cheap, but I also know that I just do not doubt the price of these gold foil legendaries will be substantially higher at some point in the future. I want to say hi to the chat. It's been a while. I see Alex is just talking it up. I appreciate it. Banana Farmer, it may be a little slower than some things, but more secure and it's traceable. He looks like he's advocating for Bitcoin and just talking about how it may be a little slower, but it's more secure, it's traceable. There is slow, fast option. Crypto can still have its place for things for sure. I'd love to see more connections, even miraculously a bridge between things like XRM and Monero. Monero is one I haven't heard a lot about since the last bull market, like the last bull market. I'm a fan though. Privacy coins are. I feel like the powers that be will always kind of hold those down, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that it can't have a massive wild success. YT says the only thing with the Hive/SPS jumps in the bull run, you won't see the drive up. You won't see the drive up. I think you're talking about like if we put money, if it's an HBD saying, and you won't, and I don't think either will, then the answer, the assets, etc. Splinterlands with one success is as high as 5. I think you're saying you just don't love the idea of putting it into HBD. And I kind of agree. I wanted to think that through because as Alex pointed out, it'd be one way to put together essentially $60,000 in profit, because we were planning on paying Clayboyne a salary, or somebody in that sort of role a salary from the DAO. Well, we could have reoccurring revenue if we put it into HBD and enjoy that 20%, or DC into the liquidity pools and garnered profit. But then to your point earlier, Kolsker, we would have to sell the DC if we were earning DC, which is a problem for the community. Gathering says land by Thanksgiving. As a Canadian, I hope you're wrong, because we already had our Thanksgiving, which means that'd be a full year away.
Speaking of that land, Varpatrod said to in Mav chat.
Hmm.
Did you see that what he posted?
I did hear about this, but no, I didn't personally see it. Like we
We've
can
got
touch
it
it.
in our. It's in our members. Somebody posted it in our members. It's also in the TNA Legion X battle camp.
Okay.
Um, VC Dragons asked, "How far are we? How far are we go live on land?" And Farpatrod said, "Expect Matt to give the date on Monday."
Wow.
And the town square is starting pretty much as soon as we are hanging up. I think it's in 17 minutes.
Oh my goodness, guys, that's
So like
huge.
we could be very close to the land announcement.
That is very exciting. I actually didn't see that. I thought you were going to say that you can touch land. A friend from Splinterlands who knows some stuff said that if you reach out to FARP, I could test the land.
It's close.
Yeah.
It's close.
But
Farpatrod said expect a date on Monday, and we're 17 minutes from that town
guys,
square, and I'm expecting them to say next Tuesday.
that would be amazing. That would be
That's
amazing.
that like I think they're gonna give us 8 days. That they're not gonna be like, okay, land go live tomorrow.
Which is
And
all
if
the
they do, if they tell us that it's land tomorrow, I mean that's cool, but we're all expecting a little bit of notice.
Yeah. That would be you're right. That'd be cool, but it would be tomorrow would be so intense. Just from like essentially
Yeah.
not mentioning it to, oh yeah, by the way, it's ready.
Yeah, Gathering just said that he spent all his DEC on Rebellion.
Yeah.
I almost did the same thing, but then I stole my node to start collecting some more DEC.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, Gathering. I sold every DEC, with the exception of $30 I spent on that one gold foil Ashanis. It all went toward Rebellion, and I only bought 115 packs. But I've been like talking to myself this week about what I would be willing to do. I will sell $500 worth of XRP if I have to, and it looks like I have to get the DEC I need to launch my land, because like land is too important. Getting ready, going forward. It's been years in the making. It's finally, I guess, here, or we'll see tomorrow. That's really exciting to hear. I'm so glad you mentioned it. All the more reason, guys, next week you want to be here when me and Kolsker go live again. And we'll be handing out some plots of land, and you can be part of the TNA, it'll be part of Kolsker's tract, because it's within your tract, isn't it, Kolsker?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, so that'll be exciting. So again, TNA members, be here. You'll have kind of an increased opportunity, and yeah, community members, public, you guys too. So make sure you're here next week, same time, dude. That's awesome. I want to. Is it actually starting in 13 minutes or at 4 o'clock? Or
I'm pretty sure. Like it's events in the Splinterlands Discord.
Cool. YouTube.
Starting in 12 minutes.
Oh, amazing.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
Coming to the Emerald Queen Casino.
We're the lead-in stream here.
That's right. We're the lead-in. We're the get you ready, guys. We're the hype men for this. I am pumped. That's gonna be so cool. I'm gonna throw that on while I go downstairs and get dinner ready. Kolsker, I guess I just want to spend a couple minutes just even saying like thanks for reaching out. Thanks for, I guess, because this was your idea, and we like I said at the beginning, we had the opportunity to talk on the Discord live one time, and you were willing to, and I think maybe did, sort of stream a few times just for the internal team. I love that stuff.
Yeah, and I used to get on Twitch and do some streaming on there, and I mean I'd like to do more, but you know, if it's not part of your routine, it's hard to get into that habit.
Mm-hmm. I hear you exactly. And I'm trying to work that into my routine too, like just to make more time for the guild and do like private guild stuff. But between YouTube, real life, family, kids, you know, it's a lot, but I want to.
Yeah, I hope to be doing it more and more, and I've enjoyed this. It's awesome getting on here with you after watching for 2 years.
Yeah. Let's see. So guys, we're gonna wrap up pretty quick, but let's see if you got any. I see chats about the fiends. People talking about how inexpensive they are. Gathering fiends under $2 are a steal. Imagine when the dual summoners come out. Oh, good call. 2 fiends per low mana match with
Yeah.
the 12 mana match rule. To be able to drop 2 fiends, especially at diamond where they have an ability, is a very fun idea. What are the gold? Look at the goldies over here. And okay, but yeah, $1 for the torrent fiend, man. So you're talking like call it $15 to get a max fiend. And I don't even know if I have all of these maxed out. Let me see my collection, my cards. Is there a card that you really want that you don't currently have, Golsker?
Um, no, not really. I pick up cards. I've got a maxed gold foil immolation that I'm actually renting to Yasik at the moment.
Immolation.
Um,
Gold foil
the
immolation. Oh,
newest.
that's a new one. You got a max gold foil?
Yeah, yeah. I bought like 6 or 7 BCX of it when it first came out
You know what?
for under 100.
Amazing.
And so I've got one at level 2 that I'm playing, and one at max level that I'm renting out for 600 DEC a day. So like, it was kind of an investment, and then I have a gold foil Yasik,
Mm-hmm.
so I like having those to play together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm really focused on the gold foil Chaos Legion. Um, I've been dollar cost averaging, buying BCXs for the last year.
Cool.
And I've got like 3 million collection power, and it's like 90% Chaos Legion. So it's pretty much gold foil Chaos Legion. So like, like I got Corel Lurker at level 2 or 2 BCX, and I've got a couple of those dragon legendaries that came out. I picked that stuff up, so I try to get all the cards that I like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I need to go shopping for a few things. There's some Rift Watcher cards that I don't have where I need them, and I will get them there. Coral Lurker, I don't think I only have it. I only have level 3 Coral Lurker. I want that Thorns. That'd be huge. One thing I've been thinking lately.
Yeah.
This is a question that I want to raise to you. I think right now we maybe have an interesting opportunity. Now I know people say Chaos Legion is overprinted. There's too many copies. They don't have the same value. Maybe they even say things like it's not as good as Rift Watchers. Chaos Legion, some of the Chaos Legion cards are really good. 85 cents for a pack right now on the market, on the peer-to-peer market, versus $3 for a Rebellion pack. I'm interested, of course, in Rebellion. I think it's going to be game-changing with those summoners, with the summoner tactics, with the multicolor summoners. But one thing I'm wondering your thoughts on, if you were just getting started and you wanted to get going and have like a real significant Modern League deck, I mean, you're getting almost a 3.5 to 1 on, and that's assuming you're buying peer-to-peer Rebellion packs. Whereas some people might want to chase after the titles, which would cost you even more. Chaos Legion are cheap. I mean, would you approach it if you had if you were starting over right now and you had like $1,000? You think you'd be focusing on more moderns? Maybe you go to the market and buy singles. Would you be going in and look for 85-cent packs, or some other choice that I'm not mentioning?
Well, like if I was new, but still kind of new, what I want that like I'd be buying cards
Mm-hmm.
because like like I opened 6 packs today that I got from like my dailies and from my season rewards,
Mm-hmm.
and like not one gold foil card, not I think maybe one epic, but like opening packs just doesn't really have the return that like going out and buying specific cards off the market at the right price can do for you.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? Every time it's like you're hoping for that gold foil legendary, but most of the time you're getting just that 1 rare and 4 commons most of the time.
Yeah, and like I didn't have enough money at when Chaos came out to like I'm gonna invest in packs
Hmm.
and sit on them forever.
Yeah.
So like I opened everything I could all the time through this whole year, and I think that that's helped me like mentally that like I'm not sitting on packs that depreciated.
Yeah. Yeah. The if you had one Chaos Legion pack right now and you paid 85 cents for it, you would have a, what is the card value estimated? So it is like estimated profit. Uh but that is just an estimated based on averages. If you just got if you just got 4 commons and a rare, you're looking at 20 cents. So
Right.
if that's all you're going to get, unless you're buying 500 packs, you can't count on. Well, here's the thing: there's a balance between fun and swinging for the fences, because it is fun to open a pack and hope that you're going to get that gold foil legendary, but probably you're
Yeah,
not.
that's why I keep opening them. But
That's right.
I'm not buying packs though. I'm
Yeah.
just opening what I win.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I guess why I brought it up is because as this number gets even lower, I become more interested. Like I I think people don't take Chaos Legion seriously. I think they think I hear it all the time actually. There's too many copies of it. One day I think we aren't going to feel that way, and I for one want more of them, not less of them. I'm going to open 7 packs.
That's one of those things I think that like people don't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
That like, oh, there's tons of cards. Oh, there's tons of cards. And then one day there's just not going to be enough cards.
That's right. Look at this. Come on, give me that gold foil legendary just to keep us going here. There's the Goldie. Oh. No. See, lots of 7 packs. 7 packs. I got 1 epic, 1 gold foil. Yeah, I mean, this is the problem. Like you say to yourself, well, 85 cents is cheap, but then I would have been better if I had bought these with cash, which I didn't. I would have been better off to go into the market and spend $6 on cards. Yeah.
Get 1 BCX of some epic that you don't have at the moment.
Yeah.
Or, that you haven't maxed out yet.
That's right. So if you call this $6 US to buy, like if I didn't buy them, but if I did, plus the potions, by the way, and maybe you'd have to buy the potions, but I had them for free. But if you had $6 US and you wanted, you could be so targeted. Okay, I need a new summoner for my modern league, and I need it to be, a rare. Well, Tarsa is over here for 24. I can, $6 could get you a pretty decent Tarsa, or $6 can get you, you know what I mean? Like even a Scargor, you could get. What could I get here? Right there, I could get a level 2 Scargor for 350 and have money left over. It's just, you're right. Targeting is better. But man, it is fun to open packs. Even now, when I open those 7, I was like, is there going to be something really juicy? That'd be because even though they're cheap, it's conceivable I could have pulled 2 legendary gold foils. That's the crazy. Like my brain is always like, I could maybe. Anyways, we should wrap up because my throat's starting to hurt and I want to get ready for the Splinterlands Town Hall. Kolsker, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you, brother. And we'll see you again next week. And guys, one last time, drop a like and come back next week. We're going to give out some plots of land. Like I said, time and attention will have a disproportionate opportunity to win. So, but you got to be here. You got to be here. Thank you very much. Kolsker, anything you want to say to the guys before you take off?
Thanks for having me. That's good. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. We'll chat soon.
Okay. Have a great day, guys. Bye for now. God bless.